presented by Kingsford Charcoal. Shocking halftime score. Oregon up 25-3 on the number 6 team in the nation. Terry Gannon back with David Norrie. So the Oregon defense has limited Javid Best. They've completely shut down the passing game of Kevin Riley, and the offense has put up 304 total yards so far. What do you make of this?
Well, Oregon played Boise State in the opener. You have to remember that. I mean, they've had a tough schedule. They played Utah last week, a win against a team that had won 16 games in a row. Purdue was no pushover. I think this is an Oregon offensive line that's coming of age. 5 new starters, and Masoli throwing the ball beautifully in the first half. 14 for 18, no interceptions. Really the only mistake on the mishandled snap, but he has been brilliant. And this Oregon offense is close to unstoppable when he throws the ball that efficiently.
Check out our Pacific Life game summary, and this defense for Cal hasn't come close to stopping Jeremiah Masoli. They haven't figured out the offense so far. Look at the numbers. 14 of 18, 155 yards. His first touchdown throw of the season. It was to Ed Dixon, who came in with 4 catches for 58 yards. He's been catching everything so far in the first half.
7 receptions, 88 yards in the first half. Oregon's done a nice job of finally getting him integrated into this offense. The crowd has been a factor. And Terry, you mentioned, to take a look at the Oregon offensive numbers comparison today as opposed to what they've done in the first 3 games of the season, and pretty dramatic. And you know, you talked, Terry, about Kevin Riley, 30 yards passing in the first half. And I think if you're Cal right here, you know, you're down 22 points, you can't play the scoreboard right now. You've got to put a couple drives together. And I think you have to start throwing the ball with Kevin Riley on first and second down. Take some chances down the field. You've got to do some things to create space for Javid Best. Oregon playing too many defenders up near the line of scrimmage.
Look at what they've averaged this year, almost 49 points per game. They've got 3, but they do get the football to open up the second half. Another good kick, sending Vereen all the way back 9 yards deep. Rob Beard doing the job, the kicking duties for Oregon. So they'll bring it out. 1st and 10 from the 20. Jeff Tedford's club, you know, facing a second half where they need to make a comeback now. Their first 3 games, they blew out Maryland 52-13, Eastern Washington the second game, and then a good win last week on the road at Minnesota. Good fourth quarter to win it 35-21.
Yeah, and that was the one chick in the armor for Cal, is maybe they've played a weaker schedule in the first 3 games. We're going to find out a lot about this team this afternoon and in the upcoming weeks.
Play action, Riley throwing out of the gun. He's got Tucker's favorite receiver. He makes a move across midfield. Vereen Tucker breaks back all the way down inside the 30-yard line. How about that for a first play from scrimmage to open up the second half? A gain of 50, David.
Well, watch Vereen Tucker find a little void here along the sideline. He's going to beat Talmadge Jackson off the line of scrimmage. He finds the hole. He gears down. Nice ball from Riley.
Big play guy. They snap it quickly. This one's almost picked off. Javis Lewis had the best chance to bring that one in.
Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator for California. I like his play calling. Look at Tucker favoring that left shoulder. But Ludwig's done a nice job being aggressive on early downs here this opening drive of the second half.
Remember, Nyan Boateng, wide receiver, out with a fractured foot, 4 to 6 weeks. Alex Lageman now in for Vereen Tucker. Hit as he throws, incomplete. No chance. Had no time, Kevin Riley. And it was Lageman, the intended receiver.
Aliotti, Nick Aliotti dialing up. Watch the blitz come from the strong safety. And then backside, Bear continuing to be disruptive as a defensive tackle. 6'7", 250 pounds. The big part of that win last week against Utah.
3rd and 10, they split the backs. Vereen and Best. Riley hit again. Best didn't have time to get to the football. So the pressure again coming. Will Tukuafu not giving Riley time to allow Best to get out there and get open.
When you play 8 and 9 men in the box, you get the safeties involved on the line of scrimmage. You lock up outside with the corners. You know, you want to throw the football. It looks like they're going to go here on 4th down, but also it allows defenders to get to the quarterback quicker.
You like the decision?
I do. Long field goal try. There's some wind whipping.
Riley throws, Lageman out there. Again, a timing pattern, didn't have time. And Kevin Riley has to be picked up from the turf. So they go for it on 4th and 10. And again, the Oregon defense, which has been terrific today, coming up with a big play.
Well, and you know, this would have been a 47, 48-yard try. D'Amato missed his last field goal attempt, and the wind is swirling a bit.
But he hit a 47-yarder earlier in the game. It was at the other end.
And the wind was not favoring him in that direction, and that was the direction that he missed the kick in the second quarter.
So Cal can't capitalize on that big play from scrimmage to open up the second. Michael James gets the call. He's dumped right away. Derek Hill, the junior from Oakland, on the hit.
James just a couple yards from cracking the century mark in the first half, 98 yards on the ground, and really showed us why he's slated for stardom in the future of Virginia.
Lost a yard on that carry. Masoli throws on the run, got another one. Jeff nailed the catch, another first down. I mean, Jeremiah Masoli. How do you defend this guy when he's on? Because he can kill you with his legs.
Well, and they're doing a nice job of changing up his launch points. When things are going well, you can have, go ahead and freeze it right there. Look at 2 receivers in the same area. And that is not by design. That's a mistake on a route either by Mayo or Dixon, and they still hit a ball on the sideline.
It's that kind of day. Sometimes it all goes right. 5th catch for Mayo. They'll get it to Michael James. Gain of maybe 4. Mike Muhammad in on the hit.
You get the feel with Masoli, even with the wind whipping around sideline to sideline down in the field, he's got the type of arm where his ball cuts through the wind, and he is throwing the ball on spots here this afternoon.
Again, carries people to midfield. And normally it has been the Oregon defense which has spent so much time on the field through the first 3 games. Now Chip Kelly's offense has been out there, and Cal may be getting worn down throughout the game.
So much talk about Job and Best during the week. Heisman Trophy candidate, 5 touchdowns last week. People saying, how do you slow him down? A good way to slow him down is picking up first downs, and keeping that Cal offense off the field.
The other side, James over 100 yards. He's got 104 yards rushing in the game. Ramone Alston has a big hole. Alston inside Cal territory down to the 34-yard line, a gain of 15. So the backs keep coming at you, and it was Barner who was the backup, but Alston getting a lot of time here.
Crenshaw, the number 3 back, the senior, I'm not sure whether he had flu or whether he was a little bit down about not figuring into the playing scheme with James and Barner ahead of him, but we had heard that Alston might get some carries, and he made the most of it on that last carry.
Go quickly. Masoli almost lost it, but held on. A collective groan from this capacity crowd.
Chip Kelly has been on edge when it comes to ball handling. The snap from center, Masoli. This is zone read, and he's trying to pull the ball out on the keep. And the Ducks so fortunate to get that football back.
You got young tailbacks there, and Masoli's making a decision on the fly. So Alston's not sure whether he's going to get it or not. He does this time. Carries it to the 32.
That's a great point, Terry. You know, when you get an offensive player in the huddle, a guy like Alston steps in, and now all of a sudden the angles change a little bit. He's got his nerves going. He might not give you the same feel on the read when you're trying to pull the ball out of his belly. Those are all things that play into coaches' decisions on how they substitute. Are they going to put a young player in the game?
Because it's Masoli reading and deciding at that point, right?
Absolutely. He's looking at that end man on the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9. They bring pressure, set up the screen. Good play call to beat it. Dixon dive, lost the football. Looked like Cal may have gotten there. But he was down first. He gets the first down, so they get another break.
Well, it was a tremendous catch by Dixon. Dixon goes up. And the ball comes out as he hits the ground. We had the similar play last week at Washington. The ground cannot cause a fumble. It's a matter, though, of how high, where his arm hit the ground there.
Yeah, they're going to take another look at this. There's no question.
Now, last week, Stanley Havili had a big fumble in that upset loss. The fullback for USC up at Seattle, same situation.
This will be a big look upstairs when we come back.
Hey, Mom, I need some minutes.
I just gave you some at the restaurant.
Yeah, no, I threw them out. They were old.
Old? They're rollover minutes. They are as good as new. Not everyone gets to keep their unused minutes. And these days, we can't afford to be wasteful. Saving minutes.
Saves money, yeah.
Only AT&T's Family Talk with Rollover saves your family's unused minutes. And saving minutes saves money. Now get 50% off all Samsung touchscreen phones after mail-in rebate. Only from AT&T.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, raves car magazine. Slick and sensuous, boasts the Washington Times. The most striking VW in recent memory, declares...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
ABC Tuesday.
Jane Doe found 6 weeks ago.
On the all-new series from Jerry Bruckheimer.
He has to know that his future wife is missing.
Smart money would say he killed her.
ABC's The Forgotten. All new Tuesday at 10/9 Central on ABC.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was down.
If anything other than the hand or foot hits the ground, he's down. Now take a look at Dixon.
Yeah, the key is where on his arm does he touch the turf first, and they ruled it was his forearm and his elbow. Last week we talked about the big fumble by Stanley Havili, the USC fullback in scoring position against Washington. Havili's hand would touch the turf first, and that is why it was ruled a fumble up in Seattle.
Masoli hands it off. LaMichael James getting inside the 20. Brett Johnson on the stop. But it has been one of those days, David, where things are going the way of the Ducks.
California has been on the field for a lot of snaps defensively. Chip Kelly, the architect of this offense the last 2 years as an offensive coordinator. He loves to see his offense hitting on all cylinders.
Contact. See if there was movement to drive. Derek Hill can cross. This is an offense that is last in the Pac-10 in total offense.
Offside on the defense by contact. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And he was not drawn off, so the penalty going against Hill and Cal. So it's second down and short. Maybe a long yard. That's it. Big day already for Michael James. Solely running the option. He's going to keep it this time. Lost the football and his helmet, but his tailback got it. James comes up with it just inside the 10. And again, the bounces are right for Oregon.
Well, Masoli shows us on the run that he's fearless and he's careless. I mean, he's both there because, you know, Jeremiah Masoli has a 25-3 lead here. And the one thing he has to be thinking is just be secure with the football.
That may have gone forward, too. I'm not sure that was behind it. James cuts back with right into the arms of Tyson Alualu. And that can't be a good feeling.
Alualu is one of the rare bright spots on this California defense this afternoon, and he is a lot of trouble for an offensive tackle to handle, and he is equally effective against the run and the pass.
You know, that ball that went forward on that looked like a pitch. They ruled it a fumble, and that's why it's not a penalty. Throws out in the flat. Guess who? Ed Dixon. Another touchdown for the big tight end. What a day he's had. His 9th catch, his 2nd TD.
Where have you been, Mr. Dixon? 5 catches in 3 games. And he is putting himself together a highlight reel in this game alone.
Man, over 100 yards receiving. A couple of touchdowns. It's 31-3. Flint on for the extra point. They do it the conventional way again. Can you believe what you're seeing here in Eugene? Not sure I can.
You're watching ESPN on ABC, home of the 2010 Rose Bowl game and the City BCS National Championship game.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, raves Car magazine. Slick and sensuous, boasts the Washington Times. The most striking VW in recent memory, declares...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
Your life has more than one dimension. So should your beer. Michelob Ultra, with just 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories. It's not just a great tasting choice, it's a smart one. Live life to the ultra.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be, you know that there are. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you.
T-Mobile presents the first phone that becomes 100% you. The new MyTouch 3G with Google, only from T-Mobile.
Man, what a day it has been for the Ducks fans here. Not sure they even expected much of this. 32-3 over Cal. Remember, they got the fumble on the opening kick. Oregon's defense stopped Cal, forced the field goal, 3 points on the board. That has been it for Kevin Riley. Job at best in the offense. Shane Vereen, 2 yards deep, almost brought it back, and Jeremy Ross said, nah, take a knee.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Live life to the ultra. Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And the Volkswagen CC. Visit your local dealer for a test drive today.
Yeah, the Hills are alive with the sound of Autzen. Been loud throughout the afternoon. 1st and 10 from the 20. Riley looking for someone, flags down on the play. Throws late. It's got Marvin Jones, but we'll see what the marker's about.
Offside on the defense, number 11. That penalty will be refused. First down.
All right, so something positive for Jeff Tedford's offense, David.
I like the play action here, and I think they have to start using play action off of fakes to job at best. Get Riley outside. 8 men up on the line of scrimmage. The defenders are getting to Riley before he can get the ball out from the pocket.
Cal's won 3 in a row in this series after 7 straight by Oregon. Set up the screen to Best. Can he get room? Big gain across midfield. So they go to Best in the air. That's a gain of 17.
That's a great play call by Andy Ludwig, along with Jeff Tedford, working together. The aggressiveness of this Oregon defense is going to keep coming. 29-point lead.
First time they've been able to get it to job at Best in the air. Riley flushed out, throws way high. Had Tucker out there.
Wow, he really did. He had Varan Tucker just sitting down, comfortable, down inside the 40-yard line of Oregon, and all Riley has to do is lay it out there into the flat area, and Tucker's free to run down the sideline.
We saw Kevin Riley in that opener against Maryland. He was very good, and obviously Nate Longshore's no longer around. It is his team to run, but hadn't had his rhythm today. Steps up, throws deep, far sideline, got a man, can't get there. Jeremy Ross had a step, and Riley just missed it.
And Riley has 6 points here, and you don't want to overthrow this ball. This is a double move with the big arm fake outside. As Willie Glasper biting, and Riley misses a golden opportunity. That's a touchdown.
He had him. That was Ross had a step, so it's 3rd and 10. They're into it. One of 9 on 3rd down, and Riley can't get the play called. He's got to burn a timeout. And that will make it even louder when we get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 10 after the timeout. Take a look at our city inside view right now, David.
Well, the Ducks have just been daring Kevin Riley to throw the football all afternoon. Safeties creeping up near the line of scrimmage. Hemming job at Best in. Closing down angles. Gap responsibilities have been there defensively for Chip Kelly. And then they have harassed Kevin Riley all afternoon in the pocket. They've been able to get pressure, and that's the one good thing, Terry, about an 8, sometimes a 9-man defensive front. Even though you're taking risks on the outside, if you can get to the quarterback before he gets outside to his wide receivers, it doesn't really matter whether you're playing man-to-man.
They haven't given up the big play either. In trying to shut down job at Best, they were really worried about then Kevin Riley going long on him. And it hasn't happened. They go after him. He throws near side. Tucker never saw the football. Couldn't catch it anyway, but Varan Tucker never saw it.
And the ball was thrown out of bounds. If you're going to take a crack 3rd and 10, you're trailing 32-3, you have to keep the ball in bounds. And Jeff Tedford, the wind might have played into that a little bit, but that was a bad ball from Riley, and he's hearing about it from Coach Tedford. Pretty low percentage throw too, Terry, for 3rd and 10, and a must-have drive out near midfield.
Anger on for the punt. Kenyon Barner back at his own 10. This is a good one. Really good. Inside the 5, and it'll back up the Ducks offense there. 7:52 in the 3rd. 44-yard punt from Anger.
You're watching ESPN on ABC, home of the 2010 Rose Bowl game and the City BCS National Championship game.
You just follow me this way, please. This right here is the Social Sciences building where Christian Laettner once had a few classes. Shane Battier jumped this. Elton Brand ate a sandwich over here once. Grant Hill used to get up at 4 a.m. and do Tai Chi right here. Question. Are you ever going to talk about academics? Well, this is the computer lab right here, where J.J. Redick used to bench press servers. Moving on. Carlos Boozer used to walk through here with his backpack full of lead weights.
America, center of equal daughters, equal sons, grown, ungrown, young or old, strong, fair, enduring, perennial with the earth, with freedom, law, and love.
Cheez-It bakes so much real cheese in such small bites, people are wondering,
how does Cheez-It do it?
I know.
Cheez-It. Where do you come up with this stuff?
Hi, Dad.
lots and lots of cheese baked into little bites. Cheez-It, the big cheese.
You know, I sell tools. Tools are uncomplicated. Nothing complicated about a pair of 10-inch hose clamp pliers. You know what's complicated? Shipping. Shipping's complicated.
Not really. With priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, shipping's easy. If it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
That's not complicated. No. Come on.
But a handshake?
Right.
All right. Priority mail flat rate boxes. Only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Kelsey Grammer stars in Hey, premieres Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Back in Eugene, big lead for Oregon here. Tonight, Iowa taking on Penn State, the number 5 team in the nation. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines, all part of Tailgate Week, presented by Kingsford Charcoal. Who do you like in that one?
I love Penn State in that game, and I was just wondering, is that going to be another one of those whiteouts?
It is, as a matter of fact. Iowa's had their number lately, though. First down inside the 5 for the Oregon offense. LaMichael James gives them a little room. Maybe the defense got to come up with a big play here for Cal because the offense hasn't been able to at all.
Well, if Oregon continues to play like they played this afternoon, in the paper tomorrow, you're not going to hear much about this offensive line, but 4 new starters, 5 guys playing new positions. This offensive line has been dominant so far in this game.
James bounces out and close to a first down. He may have it, should have it, as a matter of fact. Marcus Ezef tripped him up. How's that offensive line, though, with 4 new starters back?
Yeah, I mean, the only experience really up front, Jordan Holmes and C.E. Kaiser coming in, and you look at the career starts, and this was a reason. You lose 6 seniors off of last year's team up front offensively. I think that's a big reason for what we saw against Boise State in the opener, Terry, and the development of this offensive line under Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, and of course Chip Kelly has been dramatic for 3 weeks.
And it is Kelly who calls the plays offensively, and that is a first down.
I really like the play calling from Oregon. You know, it's been aggressive. The mix has been great. The balance has been tremendous, as you see right there, running past.
They'll be the ones worn out. They've been on the field the entire game. Somehow that doesn't wear out in offense.
Well,
you ever wonder about that?
Well, you know, we talked about the lack of time of possession for this offense in the first 3 games of the season, the fact that the last 2 years an Oregon offense averaging just over 40 points a game, and the last 2 years the defense has spent a lot of time on the field, and you wonder how does that happen. But you talk to the coaching staff and they tell us, hey, we would either go down the field quickly and score, or we punt the ball away.
In fact, the numbers are misleading defensively for them. They're better than they look at first glance because they're on the field so much. Flags all over the place as there is contact on the line.
Dead ball.
Center has
Offside,
to take some
defense.
abuse from time
40.
to time
5-yard penalty.
in his efforts to be
10
disciplined.
second
And nice job by Jordan Holmes drawing the 5-yarder.
Aaron Tipoti, redshirt freshman from Honolulu, came across. Second down. The give to Alston, who is met right away and just dropped. Trevor Guyton looked like he knew the play beforehand.
Yeah, this is not a lot of fun when you take the handoff and 92 squares you up. That is the crown of the helmet to the breastplate, and that is not a lot of fun about the time you hit the turf.
Now, throughout the game, we've seen Oregon come to the line of scrimmage, mix it up, but many times go quickly. Right now, they're not. Using as much time as they can in between each play. Third down. Quick throw to the far sideline. They've got another first down. Well, Masoli has just been right on target all day. DJ Davis the catch.
Now watch the arm fake by Masoli inside to the inside receiver on the slot. You don't see it there from that angle, but trust me, it was a big arm fake, and he was able to reload and get the ball outside to Drew Davis. Watch right here. And the secondary follows the eyes on the arm fake.
Goes straight ahead with Warner. Pretty good gain on first down. Yeah. His name is Drew. This year he wants to go by DJ Davis. So either one works.
We were talking to Mark Helfrich. He said, I don't know, I think DJ is his media name.
Right.
But, he goes by Drew in practice during the week.
Davis getting a start this week along with Jeff Mayo.
We're going to come up with one of those names for you, Terry, before the end of the season.
Yeah, why don't you work on that? I'll go with it. Warner in at tailback. 2nd and 5. He gets the call. He bounces out. He's got a first down. Well, they're just making it look easy against this Cal defense. And remember, this is a veteran Cal defense, which has been very good so far to this point, until this game.
There's so much talk about LeGarrette Blount and the loss of LeGarrette Blount. He was not in very good shape in the offseason. And, when you talk to people that are close to the program, the upside for Barner and James right now is indicating that maybe Oregon has the 2 best backs on the field, when it's all shaken out.
Barner, tough running. Gain of maybe 1. That's it. We saw LeGarrette in the coach's office yesterday, meeting with Chip Kelly, practices some, so he's still, as you probably know, with the program under scholarship.
And he's a young kid, and he deserves the opportunity to continue to practice, to turn things in the right direction. We visited him with him yesterday, and he certainly was very personable, but he was not doing the things during the off season that you need to do to be successful. And the 2 tailbacks that are left on this roster, they'll do anything asked of them, and they are sure performing on game day.
3 with Alston, too. Here comes Barner. It's his turn. They just hand it off to number 24, hand it to number 21. They take the turns, and they'll move the chains again. Gain of 13. The Cal defense, Bob Gregory trying to get some other guys in right now.
We watched James grow up in the second half against Purdue. What a game, 152 yards a week ago, and now Barner, you see him starting to mature and starting to see things, and he's starting to exploit those seams in the Cal defensive front.
Barner in again. Masoli's going to keep it right back. He's going to lose maybe a couple of yards. And Now, if you're Cal and you've got USC coming in next week, you're number 6. I mean, this will not, if this doesn't turn around, be easy to come back from.
Well, and I have news for the Pac-10 and the rest of the country. USC is not going away. If there's one thing they've proved over the last 7 years.
Soley throws on the runs, got another man. Take your pick. Spreading it around, but this one is caught by Ed Dixon again.
Well, Dixon's over 100 yards, and he's having a double-digit day catching the football. I can't say enough about this offensive line. And can you imagine that this offensive line just develops into one of the top lines in the Pac-10? I don't know where you start when you decide to slow this offense down.
Hard to believe this is the offense that played against Boise State in the open. Under pressure, Masoli throws, got his man, Dixon's gone. See ya! Touchdown! Wow! Are you kidding me?
Chip Kelly's like the guy behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. And watch the defensive lineman bite on the pass fake. Masoli's going to draw them to him, and a great catch by Dixon reaching back. That was not a very good throw. You get a look at his athleticism. He has been tremendous.
Remember where this drive started. Inside their own 5-yard line. They've done it with the quick strike. They've now done it with the long drive. 96 yards. Dixon has 11 receptions. He's got 3 touchdowns on the day.
Every call that Chip Kelly is making from the sideline is coming up 7s for Oregon. And boy, is it a lot of fun as a play caller. A lot of fun for a quarterback when things are clicking the way they are for Oregon. Dixon starting to show that he can live up to some of those off-season accolades. Yeah, he was drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit on all the press he was getting during the off-season. Did not have a great fall camp. Had a very below-average first 3 games, Terry. And now we're getting a glimpse at just what he can do at the tight end position. Jeremiah Masoli talking to Coach Helfrich upstairs and saying, how do we keep it coming?
I think that's a pretty good percentage, 20-24.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty solid.
And again, defensively, they've held Cal to 3 points, a team that's averaging about 48 a game.
A shock to the system is the best way to describe it for Cal. Over 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and you're down 39-3. Wow.
Beard's been putting them to the back of the end zone every time. Shane Vereen and Jeremy Ross haven't had much of a chance at all to bring one back. Trying to get the towel off the field. That wasn't a job at best sprint.
No, not best like explosiveness.
All right, now we're ready. And Beard, guess what? Putting this one back out of the end zone too. All right, let's check in with Matt Weiner back in the studio. Matt.
All right, Terry, South Florida freshman quarterback B.J. Daniels is our AT&T All-America Player of the Week candidate. The Tallahassee kid made his first career start in Tallahassee and produced with a pair of touchdowns through the air, 126 yards on the ground in South Florida's win. Text vote to 345-345 from your mobile phone. You could win a trip to the national championship.
Back here in Eugene, those guys like it. Check their IQ after the game. You ever do that, David?
No.
Yeah, you're lying. I know you're lying. I know you too well after 3 years of working. 1st and 10, they're going to lose one. Maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Best had 55 yards on the ground at half. That's what he still has.
Yeah, but this isn't about job at best.
David, a reminder, the entire world blacked out. Everyone saw a vision of their own future. Now the investigation begins to discover why did it happen. Thursday's #1 new hit is ABC's Flash Forward. 8/7 Central on Thursday, ABC. 2nd and 10 coming up. Set up a screen for Best. Forget about it. Read perfectly. Josh Kadu, whose dad was the heavyweight champ of Uganda. The sophomore.
Terry, as I said, this is not about job at best. And we talked about at the top of the show, Kevin Riley and the passing prowess of this offense is going to dictate for these next 3 weeks, including this afternoon, what type of success this offense can have. You got to give job at best some help in the pass game, and it has not come this afternoon.
A lot of time for Riley. Dumps it over the middle, Vereen, but nothing doing. Short gain out to the 23. That's it. Oh, how frustrating is that jog off the field right now for Kevin Riley? Absolutely nothing going on offensively. So Barner back at his own 34, awaiting the punt of Ryan Anger. And not a good one. A little bit under pressure. And it'll be out of bounds at the 44. Just a 33-yard punt from one of the Pac-10's best. Well, when the day began, not many expected to see this. We had #6 Cal on the road, 3-0. Oregon, which had struggled, lost that opener to Boise State, struggled offensively in the last two, had nothing going on against Utah really last week. The defense won it. Different story today. 460 yards on offense. Quick throw, Mail with a blocker. And out across midfield.
Pretty evident at this point. You know, we're still in the third quarter, second left, but pretty apparent that Chip Kelly's not going to take his foot off the accelerator.
So that will do it. We head to the fourth. Listen to the crowd at Autzen Stadium. It has been a very good day to be a Duck and to be Ed Dixon.
It looks like nothing else on the road right now, proclaims GQ magazine.
Did you see that?
The interior positively oozes class, raves Car magazine. Slick and sensuous, boasts the Washington Times. The most striking VW in recent memory, declares...
Okay, I get it already.
I think we were in a car commercial.
They serve beer and health. Fact number 16. Every woman has her price.
You guys aren't worth that much.
Oh, our company is priceless.
If it lacks a price, it is probably worthless.
From the best-selling book by Tucker Max, I Hope They Serve Beer and Health. Rated R.
Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central, with the premieres of Hank and The Middle. ABC Comedy Wednesday gets even funnier. Seriously.
Reddick, you want to tell you something funny?
First, Kelsey Grammer learns to downsize.
This is the best money I ever made. No, it isn't.
The series premiere of Hank. And for Patricia Heaton, Average Rules.
What happened to me?
Well, back then, you're wondering what your life's going to be.
Back. Like when you are the 1 in 6 men who's diagnosed with prostate cancer. Fortunately, there's world-class medical care right here in Western Oregon at Oregon Urology Institute, with 18 doctors and specialists working together using the latest treatment options to help you recover from prostate cancer. So, if you are the 1 in 6, call Oregon Urology Institute.
We know. In retrospect, brushing off your taxes was pretty short-sighted. That's why we're giving you a way out with Oregon Tax Amnesty. If you haven't filed or you need to amend filings, apply October 1st through November 19th and avoid all penalties and 50% of the interest due. Solve your tax problems in one stroke and go to OregonTaxAmnesty.com.
Bryce Onslinger, weekdays on KEZI 9 News This Morning.
Michael Batlin, the referee, has had enough. He's leaving. He's injured, though, so he has an excuse. They were working on that right leg, and you saw the ice. So he will head to the locker room right now.
It looks like he's going to be okay, and obviously a lower leg injury. I thought for a second he might be cramping up. It's been a track meet, having to get up and down the field with this Oregon offense all afternoon.
Andre Crenshaw getting some action. You got Crenshaw, Alston, Varner, James. You got 4 tailbacks seeing action this afternoon for Oregon. Third down, Crenshaw wrapped up quickly as he gets through. So put a little perspective on what we have seen. I mean, as an athlete, you deal with ups and downs, but if you're Cal right now, I'm not sure mentally what goes through your mind. I mean, all the confidence in the world coming in, top 6 team, and now this.
You got to navigate your way through the final 14 minutes of this game, number one, and then you got to put it behind you in a hurry. You got the Trojans come calling about 5 o'clock West Coast time next Saturday night.
Jackson Rice, the freshman. Sidquan Thompson, a chance to return one finally. To the 21. Good coverage by the punt team for Oregon. 13:32 left in Eugene.
You're watching ESPN on ABC, home of the 2010 Rose Bowl game and the City BCS National Championship game.
Many will hear the calling.
Move it! Yes, sir!
Few will earn the title United States Marine. The few, the proud Marines.
2 half-pounders, please.
Even someone your size only needs 1.
Yeah, but I'm taking my mama to lunch.
$1.99 half-pounders at Taco Bell, featuring the new Nacho Crunch Burrito. A $1.99 gives you double the seasoned beef and all the good stuff. Think outside the bun.
When I think of value, I think of Wrangler. Always have.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built comfortable. Priced right.
You can pay more, but you won't get more.
Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Meet Bob. Bob's helping us see where it's easier to find money. In there, or when you compare auto insurance prices at Esurance. Fill out one easy online form for real-time prices from Esurance and other leading companies. Then, Esurance helps you buy from the place that saves you the most. How much you got?
$53.
Good work. But Esurance is a better one-stop shop to find cash. Drivers who compare rates at Esurance save $451 a year on average. Find your cash in minutes at Esurance.
ABC tomorrow, 9/8 Central. 2 brides, 1 groom. Which one will he choose? ABC's Desperate Housewives, the season premiere tomorrow, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Over 21 million made ABC Comedy Wednesday the #1 new night for comedy.
Surprise!
And Modern Family a smash hit.
Why are you drinking coffee?
It's my culture. I'm Colombian.
What part of Colombia are those French toaster sticks from?
See why critics in all of America love.
Well, we'll have to have you over.
I'd love it. We are never having her over.
ABC's Modern Family.
She already slept with 2 dads from the school.
That's horrible.
All new Wednesday, 9/8 Central. Laugh with all of America on ABC Comedy Wednesday.
64th consecutive sellout here at Autzen Stadium. Loving what they see this afternoon. So the man wearing the white hat now, Shane Anderson, who was the side judge. Michael Batlin with that leg injury. Baran Tucker dropped the football.
Normally you come into a game and you have an officiating crew. There's 7 officials. You got 1 white hat, and then you have 6 guys with black hats. Now we're down to 6 officials. And Terry, don't pull the test on me where the side judge goes, and the field judge, and the line judge, the umpire. I don't want to go over that.
Well, at least you were able to name them.
Well, I didn't give you the back judge.
True. Second down. Riley nowhere to go. And he's been under pressure all afternoon.
Yeah, and Riley has made some good throws. He's missed a couple big opportunities. The Oregon defense has harassed him throughout the afternoon. The 8-man front. You got to give Nick Aliotti a lot of credit. I mean, what a game plan he put together. Everybody talking about job at best and his gaudy numbers. This offense was averaging over 48 points a game coming into this afternoon.
Under pressure again and hit. No chance to get that one over the middle. Slow getting up, too, after that hit. Marvin Johnson.
And you watch the top of the screen again. I mean, Nick Aliotti has been around for a long time. Going back to the late 70s on this Oregon staff. He's had other stops. And he was part of that team in the late 90s at UCLA. Bob Toledo was a head coach. 20 wins in a row for the Bruins. Just a hair from getting into the title game.
Thought Nick was going to jump out of the box on that one. Anger on for another punt. Varner going to watch it go out at the 31-yard line. 47-yard punt. Ducks fall when we come back. These are bags. They fly free.
Did you know other airlines charge up to $20 for the first bag?
And 30 for the second.
Round trip? That's almost $100.
That's crazy talk.
Well, how about if I just send my bags on vacation and I'll stay home?
Why do you charge for bags?
For any bag out there watching this commercial right now, fly, be free.
Hello, I'm Matt.
And I'm a PC. Mac, it's been kind of a rough quarter, so I brought in a trainer to get me back on top of my game.
Come on, get started, you bucket of bolts. PC Mag rated Mac #1 in customer support. Are you just going to take that?
No.
PC World's readers called Mac #1 in reliability. He's laughing at you.
I'm not laughing at you.
He's #1 in customer satisfaction. What are you?
Okay, maybe we could try some positive reinforcement at this point.
Sure. You're doing a good job, Mac.
Thanks.
Hey.
Let's put a few thousand kilowatts in a vise. Squeeze some savings back into our budget. Into our attics and walls. Let's locate the original energy source called you and turn that machine up full blast. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Come get 50% more savings on insulation with a new lower price of just $9.37 per roll.
On a road trip, I map out the cheapest gas station so I can save a few bucks. We can spend it on
dog food, bags of it. So we use a credit card that gives us cash back.
It's always good to buy only solid colored wrapping paper. It's good for every occasion, like
new snowblower. I got it off-season, half price. It's a man machine. It's aggressive.
At Citi, we know everyone's talking about spending smarter, and we've got lots of ways to help, like credit cards with cash back. Because we all have to spend, so let's be smart about it. And that's why Citi never sleeps.
ESPN's college football on ABC, brought to you by Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network. Capital One, what's in your wallet? And the Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Great day if you're a Ducks fan. And for Nate Costa, who is in at quarterback for the first time since 2006. He's had 3 knee surgeries. He's missed the last 2 years. He's the holder, and we saw him earlier in the day throw for a 2-point conversion, but now he's in running the show with Jeremiah Masoli.
Yeah, and he's had a tough go of it in his career. They pulled the red shirt off of his back 8 games into the season back in 2006. You mentioned the knee injuries 2007, and last year, out of spring ball, he was the starter and tore an ACL a couple weeks before he was going to start the season for Oregon.
And to throw on 2nd and 10, he's got a big completion over the middle to the 45 of Cal. What a great throw. Malachi Lewis with the catch.
Well, Costa shows you here that he's got some talent with his arm. That is a beautiful ball. Dropping it in over the linebacker level, getting the ball there on time to split the safeties. No doubt he can throw the football with accuracy, and he can get it there in a hurry.
26-yard gain for number 26, Lewis. Costa's going to keep it and act like Masoli now. Runs for a gain. Well, the impact players have made a huge impact for Oregon in this game, starting with Jeremiah Masoli. It's his best. I mean, look at the numbers on him.
And normally you're extremely concerned about him keeping the football. He shows you that he can throw it in a big way this afternoon. And then LaMichael James, we talked about him being a star on the rise, and then Ed Dickson finally showing why people thought he would be a premier tight end nationally coming into the season.
5 catches from the all-time Oregon record. There's a catch and then a loose football. We'll see how they rule it. It will be a fumble. Lavoisier Tuinei was the man. Yeah, he took a couple of steps. Did his knee go down, though? That's the question.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to take a few extra looks at this play. And pretty obvious that the knee went to the turf. I did not see the ball coming free. I think there's a good chance that they're going to reverse this call.
We'll take a look. We'll find out when we return.
You're watching ESPN on ABC, home of the 2010 Rose Bowl game and the City BCS National Championship game.
I'm Dr. Love. This is Dr. Pepper Cherry. It has a kiss of cherry flavor. This devilish elixir has a kiss of cherry.
Dad, it's not kiss. It's kiss of cherry. It's amazingly smooth. Be smooth.
Dr. Pepper Cherry is amazingly smooth. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
New BlackBerry, huh?
Yeah.
Me too. How sick is the web browsing? All the apps, GPS, video.
Yeah.
You didn't get your BlackBerry with the Verizon network, did you?
No. Sorry.
So it doesn't work here, does it?
No, but paperweight mode.
All right.
Now get a BlackBerry at our lowest prices ever, like the Storm for just $49.99. Plus get another free. BlackBerry runs better on America's largest 3G network, Verizon Wireless.
Darth, you're up.
Hold on, I'm at CapitalOne.com picking a photo for my credit card. Here's one from my prom. Oh, what memories.
How about one from our golf outing?
I know. Maybe one of my firstborn son.
Dad, Mom says the boys gotta go.
Personalize your card by uploading your own photo at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Extreme Makeover Home Edition. 2-hour season premiere, ABC tomorrow.
Wednesday, starting at 8, 7 Central, with the premieres of Hank and The Middle. ABC Comedy Wednesday gets even funnier. Seriously.
Shreddick, you want to tell you something funny?
First, Kelsey Grammer learns to downsize.
This is the best money I ever made. No, it isn't.
The series premiere of Hank. And for Patricia Heaton, Average Rules.
What happened to me?
Well, back then, you're wondering what your life's going to be. Well, now you know.
The series premiere of The Middle. Wednesday, starting at 8, 7 Central. Laugh with all of America on ABC Comedy Wednesday.
Yeah, they just made the announcement, and they're giddy here in Austin. Everything's going their way. They reversed the call on the field. The knee was down.
I think this is a play where Lavoisier Tuinei is a young wide receiver. He shows a lot of toughness because he's risking a knee injury there. He's getting rolled up on that right leg, and he was tough enough to wait until the knee hit the turf before he gave up the football.
Costa rolling, throwing, incomplete. You think back to last week and all week long, There were people here calling for Nate Costa to be the starting quarterback this week to replace Masoli.
I mean, come on. Jeremiah Masoli was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and all you have to do is go back and watch his performance late in November last year, the bowl game against Oklahoma State. I think it was as much about this offensive line maturing as it was about Masoli not playing at a high level in those first 3 games.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. Costa's got some room. Fights his way close. We'll see where they spot it.
He got it.
He got it, didn't he? Man. You know, David, so many times, even in blowouts, you can point to a turning point in the game. One big play, one big break, and then things start to snowball, and you say, if we had this or that, it might have been different. I don't think that's the case today. I think Jeff Tedford's club has come in here and just been dominated.
This has been a sound whipping, and sometimes a coach like Jeff Tedford will tell you that, when the season's over and looking back, that a loss can be a wake-up call, and hopefully his team will react positively to a game that did not go very well for him.
Kenyon Varner takes it inside the 30. A reminder, ABC Comedy Wednesday, 8/7 Central, coming your way. It's the return of a comedy icon. Kelsey Grammer going from businessman to family man in ABC's Hank. That's Wednesday, right here on ABC. So Kelsey Grammer working hard once again. Tough to make that trip from Berkeley and see this. Kind of like the Oregon Ducks fans felt at Boise. You have 2 receivers right in the middle of the field, and neither one able to come up with it.
And there are people that are probably asking 39-3, why is Oregon still throwing the football? Very tough to get your backup quarterback quality snaps in a game situation, especially against a good defense like California. And we've seen already in the Pac-10, Terry, that starting quarterbacks can go down at any time. You want to have a backup guy that's ready and can lead your team down the field and win a ball game.
Costa, they set up the screen. They got a chance here. Crenshaw gets a first down inside. Well, close to the 20 at least. They'll move the chains, though. Andre Crenshaw, the senior from Lancaster, California. I mentioned that Boise game and fans being disgruntled. You may know the story, but there was a fan from Oregon who made that trip, and after watching the performance said, you know what? That was not what I went to see at all. And he actually sent an invoice for $439 to Chip Kelly. And Chip sent him the check for $439 for his expenses.
Terry, there have been games where I wanted to send you an invoice.
Never have you mailed it in. They'll whistle this one dead. But the guy didn't cash the check, by the way.
That is one of the great stories I've heard in a while.
86 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
The response was so favorable, not just here on the West Coast, but a lot of people on the talk shows, the national talk shows, saying, what a guy, Chip Kelly. That was right. That was the right thing to do, to turn a negative situation against Boise State into a real positive from a media relations standpoint.
See, that was our director, Michael Ireland, trying to suggest that there'll be a few invoices to Jeff Tedford after this performance. I'm not going there. This one's incomplete. Now, what's more expensive, by the way, a trip to Boise or a trip to Eugene?
That's a good question. They're both a little bit off the beaten path, talking about major airports, but California's, in all seriousness, they've got the Trojans and UCLA over the next 3 weeks, a bye week in between, and it's going to be a great barometer for how this California season turns out, even though we'll only be just past halfway point in October.
Hey, that's the thing to remember as Crenshaw carries it. This is the Pac-10 opener for both of these teams. So you think, well, you've seen a lot already. You get a gauge on where people are. This is the first game in the Pac-10 season. You can drop this game and still actually share a Pac-10 title at some point. USC has done it a number of times.
You look at all the coverage. This college football has become so popular. Talking about how the conference is going to turn out before the conference even starts. We watch Nate Costa try to buy time, rolling out to his right. I've been impressed by Nate Costa. You know, this is a situation that is very exciting for him as a quarterback. We mentioned the peaks and valleys he's had at Oregon. He was named the starter coming out of spring practice a year ago, but this is a big deal for him, and to put together this drive, to convert on some third downs, gives Chip Kelly some confidence that his backup can come into the football game.
Morgan Flint on for a 42-yard try. Let's see if Bend, Oregon. Snap, good hold. Good kick. Just did get there. Holding his breath for a moment. 42-3. Not a mistake up on the scoreboard. How'd they get there? Well, check out a Pacific Life game summary. A lot of this offense. We talked with Soli, but how about his favorite target today, Ed Dickson?
Ed Dickson sneaking out of the slot position. They tried to set up the fake outside on the wide receiver screen. That's a beautifully drawn up play. And then the center screen to Dickson. It's a tremendous catch, reaching back, making the grab, and then it was all green into the painted area.
Hey, what about the Pac-10 now? Again, it's very early, but Washington beats USC. They have a loss. Cal here will get an L. Next week, though, back at home, if Cal is able to take down the Trojans, then they're right on track. They're fine. And Oregon, though, coming into this game, so much attention was on Cal as the number 6 team in the nation, but you talk to Ducks fans around Eugene, they firmly believed coming into this game even that they had a legitimate shot at the Pac-10 title.
Well, that game takes on huge importance. I think everybody agreed coming into the season on paper it was the biggest game of the year in the Pac-10, but now all of a sudden it becomes a game where if you lose, you really, it's going to be very tough to win the Pac-10 conference late November if you lose that football game. It's that important.
Shane Vereen coming the other way now is going to get a chance to bring this back. Nice return and then dropped at the 35. Matt Weiner, what's going on?
Jerry, we've got Sports Center right now presented by Sprint. The rain hasn't let up in Blacksburg. Neither have the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Ryan Williams, 138 yards rushing, a pair of touchdowns. Tech all over number 9 Miami. And Tim Tebow took a separate plane because of illness to Lexington. Got the start. You see a big run already and a Florida lead on ESPN2. 3-0 there.
All right, thanks, Matt. Kevin Wiley back to work here for the Cal offense, trying to get something positive before this one ends. Hasn't been much at all. Jones in motion. Wiley out of the gun, throws over the middle and throws low, incomplete. You know, maybe it's us with these highly ranked teams. Last week we were in Seattle for number 3, taking on the Huskies, and it came down to this at the end, the field goal.
Jake Locker, number 10. What a job by Steve Sarkisian to take this team, a team that was 0-12 a year ago. That was the only team in the Pac-10, Terry, a year ago that had gone winless since 1980.
Yep, just broke that losing streak. Tucker the catch to the 44 and just shy of a first down.
You watched Jake Locker in that game, the way he managed the game against a great defense for USC. The plays he made from the pocket, 3rd and 15 completion on the last drive was a beautiful throw down the middle of the field. And I think Jake Locker has established himself early in the season as the premier quarterback in the Pac-10.
How many better are there around the country?
Not many. And that's why the scouts are starting to really talk a lot about him. He's got another year left coming up in the 2010 season.
Vereen has a hole. He's got a first down. Well, the action tonight involving Pac-10 games. Another chance to beat an SEC team. Arizona State and Georgia, then Arizona, Oregon State, Washington at Stanford, and Washington State in LA to take on USC.
Yeah, Washington State USC game. I mean, may have to put a rating on that game. I wouldn't have any youngsters watching that. That could get really ugly.
Riley throws, broken up nicely down the field. Nice play by Boyette.
You know, Terry, that Washington-Stanford game becomes very interesting tonight, too. You know, the Huskies, a lot of people asking, hey, you know, are they for real? Did they catch USC by surprise? But you look at the way they played LSU in the opener to an 8-point game, a team with athletes all over the field.
Not sure anybody's really had a tougher schedule so far than Washington. And they've got the real deal at quarterback. Here comes the blitz, picked up nicely. Riley throws, timing off, incomplete. Boyette again on the coverage.
Yeah, Boyette is a guy that, you know, he's stepping in, getting the start this afternoon at safety. DJ Ward has been out, and he's done a nice job as a starter here early in the season. Made that big interception to lock down the win against Utah last week. There was a blown coverage in the secondary on that play, and he was still there to make the interception to put that game away.
3rd and 10. Riley is going to go down again. Terrell Turner, the sophomore from LA, gets the sack. And Riley has had, well, he had some time initially here. Good coverage down the field.
Well, the defensive front for Oregon has done such a great job. They've been disciplined and locking down job at best. They've put a lot of pressure on Riley in the pocket, both from their interior positions and off the edge. And then the secondary has done a great job. And they're taking risks outside.
Stepping up, another sack. What a day for the Oregon defense. No chance. 6:06 left in Eugene. They're on their feet. They have been all day.
When you need it fast, get it fast.
Sarah! You're...
No menu needed.
Have you heard about our never-ending pasta bowl?
Wait a minute.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. Classic sauces and delicious new ones like our homemade creamy Parmesan Florentine and roasted portobello pomodoro. Choose all the sauce and pasta combinations you want, just $8.95, plus unlimited salad and breadsticks.
Who's not sure what to order now?
Not sure what I'm gonna order first.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
What do I smell?
Despair.
Oh, I thought it was waffles.
ABC tomorrow.
I can't do this. It's adultery.
Luckily, we're both adults.
Television's most revealing premiere
Lift it up. That's why your school nurse is an obstetrician.
becomes the social event of the season.
Hello, Susan.
One wedding,
Okay, did not see that coming.
2 brides. Here come the wives. ABC's Desperate Housewives season premiere tomorrow, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Back with a reminder, the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues at Dover tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, presented by Burger King. Who are you liking that? Mark Martin, you got Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin.
Well, Mark Martin keeps winning races. I think Tony Stewart, not a very good finish in the first race in the chase. I look for Tony Stewart to maybe jump up and get in the picture.
I like the vet. Mark Martin. Been around for 45 years, I think.
50 years.
No, driving.
Oh. Yeah, well,
seems like it.
We're going back to his go-kart.
Andre Crenshaw on the carry. Hey, how about?
I thought you meant around. He'd been around literally.
No, not on this earth. I moved to North Carolina in 1981, and he was well known then.
NASCAR's pretty big down in those parts.
Yeah. North Wilkesboro, some of those old tracks. It's tough to see them not used anymore. Quick out, complete, but right at the line of scrimmage. Garrett Embry wrapped up. How about the other side? You come in with all the question marks about the Pac-10 race and these teams, but the other backstory was Javid Best and playing himself into the Heisman race. Today, he's at 16 carries for 55 yards. Does that change things?
Well, I think it does, because he has the pressure of a team. You know, Cal has to have a huge season for Javid Best to win the Heisman Trophy, and that's why he's a dark horse ultimately against those top 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Crenshaw first inside the 45. You're right. He's an underdog starting out, so we'd have to keep it rolling.
And for him to have success in these big 3 games, you know, Oregon on the road, next week against USC, and then after the bye week down at an undefeated UCLA team. You know, you needed the help from the pass game. You needed Kevin Riley to have a lot of success outside. If you don't get it, defenses are just going to stack it against you. They're going to use numbers, and there's not a lot Javid Best can do about that. He needs some open spaces to roam.
You know, he came in saying this week that the one place he thought about the crowd where it affected him was Autzen Stadium. 2 years ago, he had 3 carries for 6 yards. That's it. In that game, Saquon Thompson fields the punt, a 31-yard punt, and they'll go to work on offense. Jackson Rice shaking his head as he goes to the sideline. They're going with the retro throwback unis, kind of, from 1995. They're calling them throwback.
That's not a throwback.
Well, that's what they call them.
I mean, if you're going to use throwback jerseys, you got to at least go back to the Rich Brooks era, right? And for me, I think you go back to maybe the 70s with Don Reed. Now that's just me.
I think 70. Yeah, throwback is at least 70s. The disco era. So 90s doesn't.
At least we got that clear between the 2 of us, which is rare.
Bo Sweeney comes in at quarterback. He's moved up to that backup spot. Brock Manchin was there, and he's played well in practice. So Sweeney, the redshirt freshman from Fresno, who played in the Eastern Washington game, threw a pass and completed it. He comes in a much different situation. It's Cal down big now.
It's evidence that competition takes place on a football team outside of just what's going on with the first team. There's a competition between the second and the third guy to be the backup.
Marine up to about the 27. You're right, and fans don't really think about that. Last week when some were calling for Nate Costa to be the starting quarterback, or at USC, for example, Mitch Mustaine, a lot of people calling for him. You know, Pete Carroll said, look, I watch practice every day. These guys compete against each other every day.
Yeah, well, and of course, you're referring to late in the game last week with Aaron Corp struggling, as many have at Husky Stadium. And I think Pete Carroll was rock solid in continuing to go with Corp.
When he throws and overthrows the intended receiver.
And that was a difficult situation as a starter to go in and get your first snap at Husky Stadium. And not a lot of people thought about that. Taylor Mays in street clothes, and they lose Matt Barkley, their starter, a week before with the shoulder against Ohio State. Joe McKnight had the flu. The chemistry was there for an upset, but you have to give Washington all the credit for pulling it off.
2nd and 10, wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage again. And then the Oregon defense just having fun right now as the clock continues to run. What about Oregon now, the rest of the way? They get this win in their opener. And you got Washington State at UCLA. The Bruins 3-0. They got the bye week this week, but among their wins, they went to Neyland Stadium and beat Tennessee.
Yeah, they've been impressive early, but you know, for Oregon, it's a whole new world. And you know, they have this tremendous home field crowd, the home field advantage. I think the prospects now are, bright for this team, and it's almost like they're starting from square one.
Incomplete, and flags come in. That route was stopped by physical contact.
And all the negatives coming out of the Boise State game for this program, and now all of a sudden you beat Utah, you crack off a win against the Utes, 16-game win streak, and then you take down a top 6 team in this kind of fashion.
There could be no
interference. 27 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
If you just look at the record, no Oregon fan can be that upset. Losing the opener to Boise State and coming back with wins over Purdue, number 18 Utah, and now number 6 Cal. Some were upset about the way the offense played and the fact that there didn't appear to be much offense. But today, David, they've had 524 yards.
Yes, yeah, well, and it was well-founded in the Boise State game. I mean, the first down for Oregon came midway through the third quarter. They only had 152 yards total offense, so I could understand the backlash.
Sweeney over the middle, broken up. Nice play. Chad Peppers got a hand in there.
And Terry, you get used to the production from this offense over the last couple years, and going all the way back to the Bellotti years around the turn of the century here, and you can get spoiled as a football fan. It's an offense that at Oregon that averaged over 40 points a game the last 2 years.
And this defense, remember, they're doing this without Walter Thurman. He fumbled that opening kick and injured his knee.
When you think about California, they get a turnover on Oregon's first possession. They get stopped. They convert a field goal, and we don't really hear from them the rest of the afternoon.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? E.C. Sofeli on the carry that time. He's a freshman, true freshman from Salt Lake City. Started as a wideout, but now they've moved him mostly to the tailback spot. Sweeney going long, looking for Ross, who comes back in, and it's incomplete. Jeremy may have stepped out anyway.
I hope this offensive line gets some credit from some of the people that have been doing the chirping, criticizing Oregon, their problems, as we take a look at Mike Bellotti, and one of the greats in Pac-10 history as a head coach. Of course, he was an offensive coordinator at one time for Rich Brooks, one of the true innovators in offensive football at the college level. That fake wide receiver screen and the score to Dixon coming up along the sidelines. Bellotti was the architect of that play in this program.
Sweeney's going to run it and stopped at the 42. Lost his helmet now. And the clock continues to run. So if it's late in the game and you're up 42-3, what do? You pose for pictures. Take the helmet off for the picture, though, right?
They were the best of times.
Those college years.
They'll be sitting in their rockers and saying, those were the salad days.
Do you remember those days? Kind of. Sweeney throws over the middle, complete, and a first down. Jarrett Sparks back up tight end, redshirt freshman on the catch. So some good work at least here for Bo Sweeney in the last couple of minutes, moving the team down the field.
Boy, plenty of activity and plenty of things to talk about in the early season for this conference, Terry. We talked about what happened up in Seattle last week, the goings-on Oregon against Boise State. And then we get a look at this game. Who'd have thunk it?
Well, and out of conference too. USC beats Ohio State in a great one at the Horseshoe. UCLA beats Tennessee at Tennessee. Vereen drops it. Tried to run before he caught it. There's a good article the other day. Since 2000, the Pac-10 has had a better record against the BCS schools out of conference than any other conference.
Yeah, and that's a lot about the conference, the 10 teams in the conference, but I think that's a lot about USC. I mean, you look at Pete Carroll's record in BCS games and non-conference games, you have to go back 7 years to find a loss to a non-conference team for USC outside of a loss in the national title game to Texas.
Sweeney under pressure, and he's going to go down again. Terrell Turner had one on the last series. He gets another one. That's 5 for this Oregon defense today. And that will do it. That's a nice run, an enjoyable run for Chip Kelly to come over and shake hands with Jeff Tedford. 42-3 Oregon. They were down 3-0, and what a win at home. I mean, they completely shut down this Cal offense.
It was a wire-to-wire job. And the offensive line grew up today for Oregon. The prospects for this offense are extremely bright, the way they played up front on offense, and then the defense. Nick Aliotti, the mastermind of a game that he will look back on and say this was one of our brightest moments as an Oregon defensive staff, and that goes all the way back to the late 70s when he first arrived here in Eugene.
I mentioned the 5 sacks for the Oregon defense, but it wasn't just the pressure on Kevin Riley and then Bo Sweeney. I mean, they pretty much stopped job at best, too. I mean, there's a guy who was the #1 scorer in the country. He was the #3 rusher, averaging 137 yards per game. And he doesn't even get close to that. 16 carries for 55 yards.
Well, the game plan for the Oregon defense was to take the ball out of Job at Best's hands, to make them, and make Cal throw the football, get the ball up in the air. They're going to come in and say, hey, Kevin Riley's going to be the guy that beats us, and the blueprint worked to a T.
And you know what? That man right there, number 8, Jeremiah Masoli, took a lot of heat the last week and a half or so. 21 of 25 for 253 yards. He came in without a passing touchdown. He had 3 today.
A beautiful game for a quarterback. And how about Chip Kelly? I mean, if there's any question marks, these fans around Oregon, these rabid fans in Eugene, I think they've been answered here early as it regards Chip Kelly.
Both teams 3-1, but Oregon now 1-0 in the Pac-10. They at Washington State. And oh yeah, Cal gets USC 42-3. Your final from Eugene. For David and our entire crew, I'm Terry Gannon. We take you back to our Times Square studio and John Saunders.